First off, non-sterile gloves. The method for putting on non-sterile gloves is not as rigorous as it is for sterile gloves. However, you should still practice good technique when putting them on. Sometimes non-sterile gloving occurs prior to sterile gloving, so you want to ensure the non-sterile layer is correctly applied. Before gloving, you'll first thoroughly wash your hands. Then, remove the non-sterile glove from its dispenser or packaging. Inspect the glove for any rips or tears and discard it if there are any. Hold the glove with one hand while inserting the other into the glove and adjusting it for a snug fit. You may have to press down between each finger to ensure your fingers are fully seated in a glove. Then, roll the cuff of the glove down over your arm and sleeve, making sure to cover all exposed skin. Repeat this with a second glove. For donning sterile gloves, the method is very specific and it requires a detailed stepwise procedure. This method ensures that the gloves are not contaminated while you're putting them on. It can be challenging to perform at first. Best way to master this technique is by practicing with actual sterile gloves until you're comfortable. Here's the procedure. Sterile gloves are supplied in packaging containing a single set of gloves. The gloves have been sterilized in this packaging, so the first step in the process is visually confirming the packaging has not been damaged or torn. This ensures the gloves are truly sterile. You should also check the expiration date on the package to ensure the gloves are within their expiry date. Next, sanitize your bare or gloved hands with disinfectant. Make sure it contacts all surfaces of the hands and that it spreads between your fingers. Then, allow the disinfectant to dry. Once the disinfectant is dry, open the package using slow, deliberate movements. Lay the opened package flat on the surface and orient the glove openings towards you. Properly identify the right hand and the left hand. The cuffs are folded up towards the fingers. This is important to maintain a sterile barrier. Depending upon your personal preference, you may choose to start gloving with either hand. First off, do not touch the palm or finger area of the glove you're putting on. Instead, pinch the exposed cuff of the first glove between your thumb and forefinger and slowly slide your hand into the glove. As you do this, make sure to take time so that all fingers appropriately enter the glove. Leave the cuff folded as is once the glove is on. Next, move on to the second glove. Use the hand that is now gloved and slide those sterile gloved fingers under the folded cuff on the second glove. Slide those fingers in far enough so they can help you get the other hand into the second glove. Using a single deliberate movement, insert the fingers into the second glove. Extend the cuff over the sleeve of the wrist, making sure that this junction is fully covered. Now, using your fully gloved hand, insert those fingers into the cuff of the first glove. As you do this, ensure that you only contact the sterile glove outside the surface of the glove. Again, extend the cuff over the sterile sleeves of the wrist, making sure that this junction is fully covered. Finally, inspect the gloves for signs of damage or tears. If there's any damage from the gloving process, you must remove the gloves and put on a new pair, following the same process. Grasp the used packaging, taking care to only touch the inside surfaces and discard. How you deglove is also important. Potential contaminants from the materials and products you've handled could be on the exterior of the glove. You want to minimize disruption and spread of these into the environment while you remove your gloves. To deglove, pinch the edge of the glove between your thumb and forefinger and slowly pull it down and over the fingers. This will turn the glove inside out as you remove it, limiting exposure of any potential contaminants from the process. Use the gloved hand to hold the glove that has just been removed and keep it there. Then, use the fingers of your ungloved hand to grasp the inside of the remaining glove and remove it in the same way. When you pull the second glove off, it will be inside out and it will contain the glove that you removed first. Discard the gloves in the proper receptacle according to your local procedures. Gloves used in the manufacturing environment are quite thin when compared to other types of commonly used gloves. This is to enable freedom of movement and finger dexterity. It also means that the gloves are easier to rip or tear. Because of this, always be sure your fingernails are appropriately trimmed so that they don't make a hole in the glove. Additionally, when donning the glove, don't stretch it too much because this thin barrier could easily tear from force or due to a ragged edge of a fingernail. Because gloves can easily tear without the operator even realizing it, there should be written procedures defining the requirements for glove inspection and change frequency. Gloves should also never be reused. Even when wearing gloves, you should sanitize your hands frequently while working. Do this by applying sanitizer to the palm of one hand and rubbing both hands together. Ensure that the sanitizer contacts all surfaces of hands, fingers, and wrists, and then hold your hands in an upright position when finished.